Yes, microphone. Hey, we're even in tonight. Let's get it, boys. All right. Equipment smarter than operator error resulted in some difficulties here getting audio to work, but it was all on my end. I'm the one who turned the headset down, making sure the anthem could roll and that we could get everything set up, and no one could hear us panicking over a few things in the press box. Nonetheless, the ball is rolling. Let's have some fun on this Saturday night in Germantown. Welcome into NISA soccer action. The Michigan Stars, defending champions, have re-entered the Maureen Hendricks Field complex as Philip Brown in the starting lineup today for the Maryland Bobcats sends a header through. We finally are back underway here in Michigan's last trip to Maryland. Maryland Bobcats will be taking their final trip to Romeo High School later on in the season in one more week in this late season home matchup. It is a defense heavy formation for the Michigan Stars. Tenda Makruva will be the one in the purple kit managing the box for Michigan. 5 defenders, 4 midfielders, and 1 striker, Leon Marich. I mean, you could probably have guessed that if you looked at the Michigan's leading scorers table as we go through the first minute. Ahmed Jr., Ahmed Shaibu, Anthony Bowie, Andres Shalbad, Prosper Figby, and Garrett Hogbin are the other starters on defense. Hunter Olson, Thomas Pranica, and Barakatullah Sharifi and Kotar Umeda have the midfield for Michigan. Caleb Pritchett, you'll be able to see running in here. He gets a start here, the forward core with Darwin Espinal and Abdul Yam. At midfield, Manuel Gonzalez, Jocelyn Pusayan, and Andrew Wivel. And on defense, Philip Brown, Philip Burnett, Richard Forka, and James Filerman. In the net tonight will be Alex Sutton. Alex Sutton making his 18th start of the year for the Maryland Bobcats, who are 9-2-8 entering today's contest with 29 standings points. Pass here for Shalbad as Michigan cannot break through the Maryland midfield. James Fileman on the intercept finds Wivel. Wivel's pass intercepted. Shalbad nicely done. And Michigan will opt to play through the defensive side. Pass breaking through. Here's Sharifi. Appeals for offside go unanswered as Richard Forka sends a man to the corner flag. As that's a bit late on the indication from our assistant referee. Referee in the middle today will be Samuel Reynolds. He's assisted on the lines by Carlos Dominguez and Walterson Torchon. And our fourth official calling for substitutes and stoppage time is Stephen Vines. Yam's header is intercepted and Michigan back on the front foot. And they'll actually switch backward now for Hogbin. Michigan likes to play this possession-based game, head coached today by Enos Djokovic. Their owner and coach, George Junshai, is not present in today's lineup, as this one goes awry, as it'll be a throw in here for Filerman and the Bobcats. We thank you again for joining us and making sure that everybody is having a little bit of fun here on this Saturday night. Sutton, an adventurous cross to the back line as the Lafayette keeper is able to play it safe for his backline defense. Gonzalez chipping this one long. Cannot get on the end of that one as Prosper Figby hands it back for the Zimbabwean keeper Makruva. Makruva scored his only goal of the season on a penalty kick last game here at the Maryland Soccerplex. Both teams winning on the road so far in this season series. Maryland snatching a 2-1 victory at Romeo High School in come from behind fashion. And Michigan winning 2-0 here to open the season series. These two teams have some of the most common opponents. This is the third time out of 4 that they will play each other this season, as Sutton handles this one in the 3rd minute of action. Well, 4th minute of action, 3 minutes and 40 seconds on the clock. Comes for Forka. Forka slides it for Espinal, gets it right back. Filerman looking to reconnect. Filerman surrounded by 5 players. Looking for Caleb Pritchett. Pritchett's one-touch pass is not going to get there back in time for Espinal, the team's leading scorer. And Makruva puts this one forward. Makruva and Espinal definitely do have something in common. They have both scored here on this field. So Espinal has done it multiple times and a lot more than Makruva has, but Makruva does have 1 goal on the season. Came via a penalty kick toward the end of the Michigan victory at the Maureen Hendricks Field complex. Hogbin gets ahead of Espinal, switches it along the touchline, keeping it for Hunter Olsen. Along the line, Forka will escort this one away from Schalbud, and he has it right at the midfield third. He will leave it off for Filerman. Filerman touched back for him as Enes Djokovic is keeping to his technical area to shout out instructions. Looking sharp in his black suit. I'm not used to seeing coaches wearing suits at this level. I'm much more used to tracksuits, but hey, I can appreciate a good sense of style, and Enes Djokovic definitely has that. Husayan for Espinal, switching for Yam. Yam cuts back to the middle of the field, looking to connect with Espinal again. Pritchett is running into the box along with Wivel. Espinal chips it looking for Wivel. Header comes in, bounces just wide. Andrew Wivel nearly got the Bobcats started. And you don't get that many chances against Michigan, and it looks like it was offside anyway. As no, I just misread the signal. It will be a goal kick. Michigan this season, as they get the action started once again, has 3 postponed matches still to make up on this season, as Nisa making an announcement earlier in this week that some teams will need to be playing extra contests. Maryland is not alone in that regard, as perhaps an issue with the ball. It might have been underinflated. Those balls do have to be inflated to regulation size, and many of the balls that I've seen at this level, they are imprinted with what the PSI pounds per square inch should be on the ball itself, but perhaps we have one that's underinflated. So Reynolds will drop it for Makruva, who will pick it back up, and in the 7th minute of action, we're already down 1 match ball. Out ahead, Marich. Olsen connecting back with Marich. Marich could not turn around in time. Forka will escort this one for Sutton. The Lafayette College keeper has a little bit of experience stopping at least one member of the Michigan Stars roster, Baraktullah Barry Sharifi. Sharifi played at Loyola, Maryland, which is part of the Patriot League Conference, as Sutton was part of Lafayette College. I'll detail a little bit more as things shake out in the course of the game, as Yam pokes it ahead. Espinal, the Honduran striker, into the box, pokes it away. Wivel's got some space. Wivel puts it on, blocked by the defense. Concedes the corner, but well done on the back end. Ahmed Shaibu keeping Maryland off the board. Maryland going with 3 strikers and Michigan going with just 1. Maryland sticking to what has worked for them this season, and that has been their offense. They have the 2nd most prolific offense behind, of course, the table toppers Chattanooga, who suffered their first loss of the season last week. Wivel puts an arm up, curls one into the box. Pritchett can't get that head on it. Forka got one to it, but it was blocked for. And some hand fighting. Looks like head contact has been ruled, and Michigan's trainer is going to be summoned to the field. This is concerning for Michigan, as the visiting team, they are falling into the same pattern that many visiting teams do when they travel on the road in this league. They don't bring a whole lot of substitutes, and considering they have 5 defenders in the roster, there's only 1 defender on the bench, Niels Lelach. So this should be an interesting move here. The player will likely have to temporarily come out, so unless Michigan wants to go with an early substitution, they will be playing short a man for a moment. So I believe that is the aforementioned Ahmed Shaibu who has to come off. Indeed, it is. Michigan will likely want to get him back on the field as soon as possible, and as soon as our 4th official, Stephen Vines, will allow it. Pass back to Makruva gets play going once again. Hogbin switching now for Bowie. Caleb Pritchett harassed him into a decision to go backward. Makruva gets the ball away from Yam. Hogvin again, slides it for Bowie. Bowie sending a long ball. On the end of the rainbow, it goes out into the touchline. A throw in here for Maryland as the flags are waving. No wind here at the Soccerplex. Filerman calling on guys to come forward toward him. Yam, one touch here for Espinal. Espinal cannot spin it for Pusayan. Pusayan takes a man to ground. That was Sharifi, and whistle goes. Looks like it'll be a foul on Michigan as Maryland gets play restarted quickly. Wivel gets on the end of the long ball. Wivel cuts in. Pritchett in the box. Cuts the pass to him. Pritchett cannot handle the pass. Hot one right into his right foot. Pusayan chunks it into the turf. Gets control of it. Back for Richard Forka. Great crowd on hand here at the Soccerplex. A rowdy bunch here in the 11th minute of action. Maryland has already had two great chances on net. One went wide and one stopped by the back line as it got by Makruva, who handles this header from Bowie with ease. Hogman out into the field for Olson. Hogman again as Michigan keeping this one close to their bench side on the right side of their attack. Given Michigan's formation of 5-4-1, it would be interesting to see how many offensive chances they take here in this contest. They're likely looking to pack the midfield and potentially come away with a 1-0 win. Or they could just do exactly what I don't think they're going to do and keep going. Burnett on the end of that one makes a nice steal. Wivel keeps the ball in play. He will keep it along the touchline and get free. Sends a pass for Caleb Pritchett. Pritchett looks like he's onside here as he's run off of the ball, and it looks like it went last off of his boots, so Michigan will have the throw. This is the key matchup for both teams. Both teams are tied in points with 29, but on goal differential, Maryland has the advantage, a +8 compared to Michigan's +6. So points are critical here late in this season. However, considering Michigan has 3 postponed matchups to have, it might be more critical for the visitors to win this contest. Or if you're following the developments through the course of the season, as Espinal makes a steal here, Pritchett has to stop to get back on the end of it. Gonzalez, one touch for Wivel. Slides it for Espinal. Espinal cuts onto his left foot, and Makruva has to make a save at the line. That ball may have taken a tip on the way and changed the direction of flight for the Zimbabwean keeper to stop it. As I was saying, Michigan, those postponed matches, 3 of their upcoming matches are going to be against Club de Leon, who they had a forfeit due to not being able to secure a home field for their matchup against Flower City Union, who jumped into their spot in the playoffs. As a result, Flower City getting the 3-0 forfeit victory and leapfrogging Club de Leon in the playoff race for 6th. It is a critical end of the season here, especially for Maryland, who will see Albion San Diego, one of the teams that they are jockeying for position with, moving into their only trip to Maryland late in the season. And then finishing it off with a game against Gold Star FC Detroit. Shalbad pushed into a decision by Hogbin, and a foul is ruled on Pusayan, as Michigan will just take the ball and restart play fast. I'm not sure who decided on the shiny gold numbers, but I don't think the person who decided on that was a broadcaster because these numbers are really hard to read from a few hundred feet away. Pass goes long. Maryland has the throw in on the far side of the field as we enter the 15th minute of action of 90 scheduled minutes. Sutton will switch the point of attack for Filerman. Keep it along the middle of the field as he passes by his head coach Alex Cow in the bright Maryland red. Here comes Sharifi. Sharifi getting to the pass now into the middle of the field, and Burnett making a nice play to close off the offensive option. Sharifi in his time with the Loyola Greyhounds pounded 19 goals into the net. 2 of them came against Alex Sutton. Sutton was a starting goalkeeper for many seasons with the Lafayette Leopards in the same conference. Sutton got the last laugh, though, in the 3 games of the two sides that they overlapped in their time in college. Sutton staved Sharifi's penalty shot attempt in the Patriot League Conference Tournament first round in 2019, helping the Lafayette Leopards move on to the second round while the Loyola Greyhounds went home. Brown pokes this one all the way out. Yam and Wivel surrounding Ahmed Shaibu. Brown gets a foot on the end of that one, and appeals for handball are going to be heard as Samuel Reynolds puts the ball back in play. Maryland getting quickly on it. Espinal keeps it on his feet. Espinal cuts back to the middle of the field, sends a pass long, and Wivel, who was out of his reach, could not make the run past Figby, and this is going to be another goal kick for Makruva. Michigan fast on the restart. Olsen. The long bid from Umeda. And Burnett got a head to it, but it bounces off of one of our advertising boards and will head into touch. Umeda. Michigan marching up the field slowly. Hunter Olsen, the Michigan native, playing Furta Sharifi. 2 players go down, and I don't think that was a foul. I just think that's both guys going for the ball. Forka on the last touch. Filerman, was he able to keep it in? Yes, he was. Yam gets the header to Caleb Pritchett. Pritchett looking to use that great closing speed he has. Gets to the touchline, and it is out of play. Throw in for the Stars. Hogman put that one in for Prosper Figby. Hogman again, surveying his options. And he's not really finding a whole lot that he likes. If there's one thing these teams are known for when they get together, it is tight contests. Michigan and Maryland both pride themselves on a very good defensive structure. Michigan maybe a bit more so with their defensive-minded system, but Maryland does like to push pace and create offense. They do have one of the leading goal scorers in the league in Darwin Espinal, and one of the better attacking midfielders. Here's Espinal and in Andrew Wivel. Yam gets on the end of this one and taken away by Hogben as he tried to change direction and leave it off for Pritchett. 17 and a half gone by. Chronica. Michigan looking for options through the middle of the field. They get this one right on the end. Sutton is out of his net, and the back pass is for Philip Brown, who will clear the danger. That one was a little bit more adventurous than Maryland might like. Goal kick here for Maryland, actually. And actually, it was offside, maybe. Yeah, the offside, yeah, the AR official is right at the offside line. The pass was close as Hunter Olsen got on the end of that one and couldn't put it by Sutton. Sutton will send a low line drive deep into the night. Makruva, and it's all the way to him. Sutton is very well known for those long passes. He does have 1 assist this season, courtesy of a long ball to Nicholas Laculia earlier on at home. Olsen, Sharifi for Shalbad. Shalbad thought about the winding up the long ball, thought better of it, and forced to go backward. Hogbin for Makruba, who sometimes acts as a 6th defender back there for Michigan with how he's able to handle the ball. 20th minute of action, Maryland has had the more dangerous of chances and in more numerous numbers. Michigan looking to change that. 2 guys go down here as Philip Brown takes the play. It'll be a corner kick and a foul, a yellow card coming out here. It looks like for Richard Forka. A yellow card is out, and he'll be shown to the Bobcats vice captain number 15, Forka. So that's not great news for Maryland, as one of their key figures in the central back role is already on a yellow card. Referee played advantage, opting not to stop play, but will bring the ball back to the spot of the foul. My mistake. I'm not sure whose mistake that was, but the ball will instead go for a corner kick. Umeda puts it in, it's low, and Gonzalez clears the danger. Espinal gets on the end of it, manages to get control. Espinal looking to go free through the middle of the field. Sends a long pass, Yam can't get to it first. A header goes for Makruva, who stops it. A steady drumbeat of midfield to midfield action. Hogbin for Umeda. Umeda back for Makruva. This pass just went long. Looked like Pranica had to go into touch to stop that one from. And all right, that's not okay. Samuel Reynolds is going to call both players on this one, as two members of Michigan kept a ball in play, thinking that it was going to come back out into the field of play as Maryland was getting set to go for a throw in. Can't play multi-ball in this game. We haven't designed those rules yet. Out of play, Michigan's got control again. With Maryland's matchup against Savannah Clovers postponed, the matchup against Michigan here becomes even more important, as 15 points are still available in the NISA table for Maryland, who has played the most matches of any team so far this young season. And granted, Michigan having a couple of matches postponed hasn't helped their numbers. Michigan's 17th match tonight, Maryland's 20th. Here's Forka playing on a yellow card. Maryland likely thankful that they have enough players to play tonight's matchup, as a COVID outbreak was part of what suspended the game against Savannah. Burnett getting along in the end of the slow roller. Figby points this one back for Wivel. Gonzalez spins it to the middle of the field. Espinal for Pritchett, back to Espinal. Espinal gets this one for Burnett, goes long to grab it. Took a deflection, heads come up, heads go down. Wivel winds and fires. That was Filerman. It went into a few bodies and bounced out. Gonzalez, edge of the penalty area, puts this one inside for Wivel. Appeals for offside go unanswered. Wivel finds Burnett. The one-time Liberty Flame crosses one in, and Makruva is the only one on the end of that pass. Long ball here. Sutton is all the way out to challenge. Pokes this one away from the lone striker Marich. Forka. Waiting for options. Goes for Filerman, as Alex Cow is imploring his players to get open from his technical area. Husayan leaves it off for Yam. Back for Philip Brown. Brown is filled in nicely in the center back role. Sutton finding Forka again. Richard has plenty of room to make some space as Yam comes onto it. Now for Forka again. Thought about the long ball. Didn't go for it. Gonzalez can't get to the pass. Bowie, and a foul in the field, as Pusayan is arguing with our match official Samuel Reynolds about why that one was called. Anyway, Michigan will have the ball on the restart. Back for Figby, and Reynolds rules that was not done properly. I guess it was done properly this time, as Michigan has restarted play. Schalbach finds Hogman. Back from Mikruva again. Closing in on 25 full minutes of action. We thank you for joining us on this Saturday night. My name is Max Walpoff, and on behalf of all of us here at Maryland Bobcats FC, thank you for making us part of your Saturday night entertainment as Busayan intercepts the pass. Shabad returns the favor. Tap of the right leg, a couple of players go down, and it'll just be a throw-in for Michigan. Forka has to be careful making challenges like that. He's already on a yellow, and Maryland can ill afford to lose a player on the back line tonight. Most teams can ill afford to lose a player on the back line any night, but especially for Maryland and especially with Richard Forka, he's a key player in that role. Filerman on the end of the ball, looking to keep this one and move it out of play. Who was that last off of? Michigan. And it'll be a goal kick for Alex Sutton. Sutton lines up and takes this one short for Philip Brown. Sharifi lining up here for Olsen. Olsen cuts to the middle of the field. Big save. Sutton. The rebound is poked high. Leon Marich missed his chance at an open net. And Sutton, uh-oh, this isn't good. Sutton is down, and after a bit of a collision, he looks like he's hurt. I think he waved away the referee, so perhaps Sutton's okay. But this would not be good for Maryland. The starting goalkeeper for now 18 matches through the course of this season, as Sutton, he's getting up and walking off under his own power, and he'll get a ball from our ball retrievers. It looks like Sutton's okay to continue. He took a bit of a knock on that attempt, as Olsen and Marich teamed up for the latest offensive chance for Michigan. Sutton's going to send everybody forward. He apparently has enough confidence in his leg strength to say that he can make this kick. Right hand goes up as if it is a normal day at the office, and the kick has no indication that anything was ever wrong. Darwin Espinal. Duyam looking for James Filerman. Filerman's got a great run on this ball. Filerman into the box and back touched it to nobody in particular. Filerman out of position. Michigan looking to take advantage. A conceded throw in here for Maryland, as now Michigan's looking to push pace. Marich, and look at the speed on Philip Brown to get away from that one. The Washington, D.C. native able to get this one out of play. Chalbad will turn back for Hogman. Good strategy by Michigan, trying to move ahead on the right side, taking advantage of Filerman being out of position. Michigan was unable to get breakthrough, though. Mikruva again for Hogman again. Garrett finds Andres Shalbad. Back for Hogman. Mikruva. Five substitutes are on the bench for Michigan, if you just include players. They do have a sixth, the backup goalkeeper, Noah Lawrence. As many road teams do, they don't tend to travel with a full complement of players, only bringing those who they know will play. Long pass looking for Marich. Marich got ahead to it. Borka gets a foot. Filerman cannot keep it in play. Entering now the 30th minute of action. Shalbot again on the throw-in duty. Marich. The pass here, Filerman with a nice box out on Olsen, preventing a chance at net, and Alex Sutton has control of the ball once again. Hunter Olsen, a Canton, Michigan native. He spent 4 years at Calvin University in Division III. And he's not exactly unfamiliar with Michigan soccer, playing for Oakland County FC in USL2. Long here for Filerman, the one-time Detroit City FC star, for Pusayan. Filerman cuts to the middle of the field around Olsen. Pusayan turns onto his front foot. Espinal. Espinal cutting to the middle of the field. Espinal sends a shot on, took a tip, and Mikruva, well done to read the tip, got on the end of the ball. Yet another shot for Nice's shot leader, Darwin Espinal. Umeda. Shalbad. Shalbad sends a deep ball here looking to catch Alex Sutton out of his net, and it falls on the opposite side of the net that he needed it to. Shalbad's attempt misses, and Alex Sutton has another goal kick. Sutton will send everybody deep for this one. Manhattan-born keeper puts up a right hand, takes a six-step run up, and sends it deep into the night. Pritchett cannot get on the end of the ball. Forka for Yam, who I think just missed that one. Hogben finding Umeda, finding Figby. Back for Hogben. Kotaro Umeda once again. Pass goes just a little bit long, and it turns the ball over to Maryland. Umeda from Mayfield Heights, Ohio, east of Cleveland. However, he was born in Tokyo, Japan. Fusayan for Forka. Filerman looking to connect again with Espinal, and this pass is just a little long. Shalbad. Shalbad is going to just wait. He'll touch it, keep it in play. Sharifi cannot get on the end of the pass. Gonzalez cleaning things up in the midfield. Standing on the ball, shouting out in directions, trying to get somebody to move. Okay, I'm not totally sure why the play is being stopped here, as Sharifi is getting a bit of a talking to now. I think they might be asking for another new ball. Yeah, Samuel Reynolds is asking for another ball. That's the second ball in this game that's the second ball in this contest that's been ruled to have been underinflated, as it were. That's not a good sign. The home team normally is responsible for the game balls to be inflated to proper PSI. At least from my experience, that's what I've been led to believe. A drop here for Forka. Sutton's saying that he's open, but Forka's going to go back for Gonzalez. Espinal. Espinal at the end of it, finding Philip Burnett. Burnett for Wivel. Wivel pokes a pass high for Burnett. Spins back for Wivel. Getting into the midfield. Going for Manuel Gonzalez. Gonzalez for Forka. Gonzalez, middle of the field. Gonzalez jumps in on the pass. Wivel controls the ball. Getting around a defender. Wivel for Gonzalez. Gonzalez setting up Espinal now. Espinal gets onto his right foot. Yam, Gonzalez, back into the midfield third. Husayan, Forka. Gonzalez for Forka again. Maryland having a little bit of a tough time breaking through that last line for Michigan. Forka. Yam. Finding Burnett. Burnett, no goals on his NISA season, but he does have a goal from the Independent Cup Finals against Maryland Bobcats 2. A header off of a corner kick. Wivel sends a shot in. Mikruva with a save. Caleb Pritchett was unable to lose his marker. Long pass here, looking to connect with Olsen. Hunter Olsen hunts this ball down off of Forka. It concedes a corner for the Stars. Looks like Kotaro Umeda will be the one to take it. Umeda, if you're so inclined, he is a published author. He published his first book in 2019, I'm With You, Attempt the Impossible, because that's the only way you make it possible. Had dedications to his father, Yuji, a doctor at the Cleveland Clinic, and his mom, Julie, a dental assistant. Sutton got on the end of that corner kick, sending a long ball here for Darwin Espinal. Espinal was onside, but the pass was just too long, and it bounced free. Michigan has the throw in on the near side of the field. Olsen will take it to put it in quickly. Here for Makruva. Hogbin and Figby playing catch. Hogbin again near side of the field, finding Sharifi. Sharifi switch the point of attack, and it's offside. Michigan just a step ahead of the Maryland backline from the pass. Burnett finds Gonzalez, finding Brown. Deep in his own penalty area, he'll rainbow for Wivel. Wivel touched it, cannot control it. Ahmed Shaibu back for Makruva, and Michigan will reset their attack from the back line. They'll try again through Umeda. Pass behind Charlotte, he caught up to it. Umeda off of Filerman, and Pusayan is going to be whistled for the foul here, taking down Umeda in the midfield third. No card. Actually, yes, a yellow card. A yellow card for the captain. So yellow cards for both the vice captain, Richard Forka, and the main captain, Jocelyn Pusayan. As it's Michigan now with a chance to at least try and set something up from deep in their end. Kotaro Umeda standing over the ball. Not sure if anybody else could hear the call from Michigan, but they're yelling, hey, second ball. Maybe setting up a rebound chance here. Wivel, though, gets on the end of it and makes the first ball hard to get. Back for Gonzalez. Gonzalez, a long ball here. Filerman's at the end of this one. So is Caleb Pritchett. Pritchett's got to stay on side here. He's had a hard time doing that over the course of this season. Pass goes along, looking for Filerman. Took a touch off of Michigan last. Espinal's not going to chance it, though. Espinal at the corner flag pokes it in. Header goes up, and it goes staying in play. Caleb Pritchett keeping it alive. Espinal on the grass for Gonzalez. A bouncing ball for Burnett. Burnett back for his same pronunciation first name counterpart, Brown. Phillip finds Phillip again, looking for Andrew. Here's Wivel, going all the way back for Sutton. Sending a short pass for Brown. Keeping it along the touchline. Michigan's got a chance at this one, as Marich really shouldn't have done that. Marich knew he was offside, but sent a back heel to the ball anyway. He knew he was offside. He stood there knowing he couldn't make a play on the ball, and yet he went for it anyway. Here comes Forka. Espinal. One touch for Yam. Yam's got a little bit of space here, moving into the penalty area. Duyam pokes it in. He's surrounded by defenders, and he's calling for the last touch off Michigan, and that is the call from Samuel Reynolds. A chance for a set piece here for the Bobcats. 40th minute of action. Espinal will be the one to take it. Maryland had a brief huddle in the midfield trying to set up what they're going to be doing here. In a scoreless contest. Michigan keeping a line at their inside their 6-yard box, so limited risk of going offside here. Espinal at the flag. Two hands go up. Ball into the box. It goes long, looking for Gonzalez. He gets to it. Gonzalez sets it up for Filerman. Filerman finding Espinal again, trying to reset. Espinal one-on-one with Umeda. Cuts inside the box. Wivel gets a shot on, and it's blocked. Filerman. Gonzalez. Back for Prusayan. Filerman for Gonzalez again. Back for Richard Forka. Skips Philip Brown, and he lost a shin guard in the process on the pass. Filerman. He's well out from his left back position. Wivel cuts it in. Pass falls here. Caleb Pritchett chunks it high and over the fence onto the other field. One of these days, Caleb Pritchett's going to score a goal, and it's going to be beautiful, but for the time being, he remains one of the most snake-bitten players on the Bobcats. Espinal for Prusayan. For Gonzalez, who manages to get a hold of it. For Brown. Gonzalez. Wivel. Back for Philip Brown. The Washington, D.C. native able to find Prusayan. Forka. Given a hard time by Hunter Olson. Alex Sutton showing off those skills he learned as a forward playing for New York City youth clubs. Well done to keep the ball away, even if momentarily. Umeda has the ball taken away. Filerman looks like he just took a slip, but it looks like he's fine enough to keep going. At the touchline, he's got it. Gonzalez finds Pritchett. Pritchett able to get a pass away here. Wivel sending it through to Espinal. Espinal looking back for Burnett. Burnett finds Gonzalez. Gonzalez couldn't cut up field. He cut into the pass a little too quickly. Prusayan, middle of the field, looking for options, finds Abduyam. Slow developing play here as Yam sends a shot on. Makruva slid to make the save. A nervy first half is how I would describe this, as both Maryland and Michigan have had their chances at net, but Makruva's been big for the Stars, and for the sake of the Bobcats, thank goodness Michigan hasn't been able to bury one. Marich had a couple of chances in this contest. Makruva, a slow walk upfield with the ball, as Duyam slightly challenges him, and the pass goes for Hogben. Kotar Umeda, back for Tatenda Makruva. I'm surprised nobody has given him the moniker Tatenda the goaltender, but I guess goalkeeper is more the proper term in this sport than goaltender, but oh well, that's just my hockey knowledge coming into play. Forka gets on the end of the ball, leaves it for Filerman. Philip Brown, keeping it on his left foot, finds a pass for Prusayan. Sliding through, great ball here for Darwin Espinal. Back is Hogben. Espinal cuts into the penalty area, sends a shot on, and it's high. Pritchett was the runner in the middle. Espinal thought he had a better look at net, and if he could have gotten that one down, he would have had a better look at net. Final 90 seconds of regular time. We'll see how much our fourth official, Stephen Vines, adds. Shouldn't be a whole lot, just the 2 yellow cards and a couple of corner kicks, but not much to speak of for stoppages. Shalbad, switching the point of attack, looking for Pranacha. I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce this guy's last name, actually. Thomas Pranica, Pranica. I was unable to ask him earlier in the day. These are the sorts of things that happen when you work another job somewhere across town. Anyway, I guess this is going to be a free kick for Maryland. Didn't look like it was an offside play or anything. I'm Curious where the foul was if there was one, but anyway, Sutton's going to be lining up to take it as we enter the final 30 seconds of regular time. Sutton finally gets the whistle that he can go, and he will send the ball deep. Umeda got on the end of it. Olsen back for Umeda. Wivel could not get past that one. Anthony Bowie got to it first. Bowie sends a pass in, could not get through his intended target. Gonzalez, as we've finished up the 45 minutes of action. I see two fingers held up by our fourth official, so it looks like 2 minutes of stoppage time have been added at 7:52 p.m. Shalbad has got a little bit of room up the touchline, always not the greatest move to give him some space. Pass away from Olsen. Brown chips it deep, looking for Abdu Yam. Umeda got on the end of that one first. Some hand fighting, and no fouls coming. Bowie leaves it. Umeda. Umeda spins upfield again. Finds Sharifi. Sharifi left a pass a little long. Marich got to it first. Olsen now passed it right into the gloves of Alex Sutton, who will roll it quickly for Wivel. Recognizing how little time is left here in the first half, Duyam sends this one sliding for Pusayan. Pusayan's got some room. For Filerman, who's got speed. Into the middle, looking for Wivel. Back for Espinal at the corner of the penalty area. Chips it in, looking for Pritchett. Falls for Filerman, who's punched out of the air by Makruva. Well saved by the keeper. Enes Djokovic imploring the Stars to get forward with the ball. That first half whistle is going to be coming soon. We're past 2 minutes of stoppage time. Shalbad. Umeda. Waiting for options to develop. Olsen. Can't get there. Hunter Olsen at the byline, and he will keep control of the ball for the moment. Corner flag. It'll be a throw in for Michigan. Michigan is opting to take their time with this throw in. This might be the last action of the first half. Michigan is sending bodies into the box. Long throw in to the edge of the 6-yard box. Ball falls ahead here. I may have been mistaken. That might have been 3 minutes, not 2 added. Pass made it through to through past everybody, and Filerman got on the end of it. Handball here, as Michigan is going to have another free kick in the midfield. Fourth official did not turn and tell the press box exactly how much time is left, so I may have been seeing 2 fingers when it was actually 3. Depending on what culture you're from, the third finger isn't exactly the easiest to tell, which is part of why I purposefully stick out my thumb for the first minute when I'm going up for 3. Takes a conscious effort. Pass deep in, and Sutton's the first one to it with his gloves. That is the first half whistle. So a nervy effort for these first teams separates us now at a 0-0 draw. Both teams had their chances at net. Sutton had to be big on a couple of occasions. Makruva had to be huge for the Stars to keep this one scoreless. So that ends our first half. We'll hope you'll join us for the second half. Don't go too far, but maybe grab a refreshment, use the bathroom if you have to. We'll be back for the second half of action when we come back. My microphone is on. Maryland starts with the ball. Looks like no subs for either squad. Okay, I'm ready to come back whenever. Yeah, I know. Take your time. Could you go to OBS and turn my microphone off mute? Could you turn me off of mute? Oh, we're on? Oh, okay. Sorry, folks. Thought we were still muted, but I guess we were not. Maryland will start the ball here in the second half. Welcome back to NISA Soccer Action. My name is Max Walpuff. Thank you again for making us part of your Saturday night. Tonight's matchup with Maryland and Michigan, the third of four meetings between these two clubs. Tatenda Makruva now will have to deal with the birthday party crew behind him and the waving of the white of the flags. Makruva's trying to shout instructions to a bunch of 6-year-olds and 7-year-olds. I'm not sure if that's going to go over too well. Anyway, Caleb Pritchett stands over the ball as a fresh 45 minutes are on the clock here for the second half of action. It doesn't look like there are subs for either team, as it looks like Makruva is going to have a word with Samuel Reynolds. Makruva is the captain of the squad, so he does have a little bit of leeway to talk with the central referee. He's literally telling the kids to move. All right, no other goalie has had a problem with this all season, so I'm not sure what your problem is. Amdu Yam gets us started off, and let's have a little more fun here in the second half of action. Husayan able to get on the end of the ball and judged to have been fouled in the process, so Maryland will have a free kick deep in the offensive third, inside of the 18-yard zone. Darwin Espinal stands over it as Hunter Olson is going to have to be walked back his 10 yards. Forka gives him a couple of instructions before allowing the Honduran striker to get on the end of the ball. Espinal puts his left hand up, chips it in, and it goes high. So now Makruva will get a fresh ball. It was noted before in the first half that a couple of balls had to be taken out of play because they felt underinflated to the team. And it looks like Makruva was given some balls to test in the interim period between the halves, and apparently the balls have been inflated to proper standards. Forka gets to it and manages to win the header. Ahmed Shaibu on that pass now for Umeda. Qatar Umeda able to find Veronica. Veronica cannot get behind Philip Burnett. Ahmed Shaibu pokes this one down for Umeda. Defended well by Caleb Pritchett, sending it back for Prosper Figby. Garrett Hogbin, a frequent possessor of the ball in the first half of action. The pass goes just a bit long. Forka intercepting for Filerman. Sliding it for Gonzalez. Gonzalez through the middle of the field for Pritchett. Pritchett in the midfield circle. Back for Burnett. Burnett sliding it again for Wivel. Wivel keeps it along the ground. Gonzalez chunks a pass up in the air. Burnett, and he is able to get to the ball with Pritchett. Pritchett leaves it off for Burnett. The one-time Liberty Flame will leave it off for the Community College Baltimore County Essex leading goal scorer from last season, Caleb Pritchett. Richard Forka. Espinal. Filerman. The Detroit City FC teammates team up nicely to get this one into the area. Chips a shot on. Makruva jumps and has the ball. Umeda. Apologies, that's Pranica. Pranica taken down, and he'll appeal for a foul. Nothing coming. Wivel for Burnett. They get their signals crossed as Wivel went to ground, taking the path away from Pranica, and no foul is going to be awarded. Ahmed Shaibu back for his keeper. Makruva, waiting for anybody to be available, finds Hogbin. Abduyam forces the pass for Figby. Into the middle for Umeda, taken off of the ball. Ahmed Shaibu cannot race ahead of Wivel. Wivel chips it deep, looking for Espinal to get on the end of that one. It went too far. Pruva sends it on into the face of Richard Forca, who is able to get it into the feet of James Filerman. Espinal for Gonzalez. 50th minute of action. We're just getting started here in the first half. Abduyam switches the point of attack, looking for Wivel. Makruva's going to go out there and escort this one all the way to the byline for a goal kick of his own. We have some unfortunate news to report from the world of NISA. Chattanooga's match in Savannah has been postponed, so that now is 7 postponed matches on the year, including now 2 involving the Clovers after the COVID postponement from last week against Maryland. Michigan does have 3 postponed matches. 2 of them are against Club de Leon, the other against Albion San Diego. And those postponed matches might seriously factor into playoff positioning. We'll tell you more about that after this attack here. Chronica, waiting for options, is now surrounded by 3 Bobcats. Plays it for Bowie. Ahmed Shaibu. Chronica, finding Sharifi. Sharifi's pass goes awry. Espinal. Yam. Slides a nice one for Wivel. Wivel gets on the end of it before the touchline. Wivel cutting to the penalty area. Wivel sends a chip shot on. First header there is a man for Michigan. Yam leaves it for Gonzalez. For Filerman. Filerman cannot get it for Espinal. Husayan cleans it up. A scoreless half of action preceded this one. Tatenda Makruva was the more tested of the 2 keepers in that first half of action. Gonzalez slides this one through. Umeda breaks it up nicely. Foul here on Gonzalez, and judging by his reaction, I'm not sure if he believes that one from Samuel Reynolds, but a foul nonetheless is given for Maryland's number 23. 2 yellow cards were really all there was in action in that first half. Richard Forca and Josilan Pusayan on 2 aggressive tackles that may or may not have been called yellow cards in other games by other refs, but they are definitely understandable yellow cards. Ahmed Shaibu for Hogbin, able to get one away from Pritchett. Otherwise, it was one-on-one with Caleb and Tatenda. Pass comes in. Forca gets to his knees and drops for the header. Husayan. Wivel. Cuts into the midfield circle, looking to create. For Filerman. Pritchett, the lone runner, into the box. Espinal now. The team's leading goal scorer gets to it for Pritchett. Back for Espinal. Broken up before it could reach the intended target. Abduyam gets to it in the shot, and it slides across the face of goal. No touch, so it'll be a goal kick for the keeper. Center back Hogbin is going to set this one up, and he will take the goal kick himself. Makruva lines up and sends it deep. Looking to get beyond Philip Burnett, cannot do so. Wivel couldn't get to the pass as Ahmed Shaibu runs it out of play. Ahmed Jr. will go beyond the 4th official's table and throw it in from back there. Figby imploring somebody to come closer to him on this play. Hogbin able to find the waiting feet of Bowie. Filerman. Espinal. Espinal now hunting for options to create, could not reconnect with Filerman. As we enter the 54th minute of action here from the Soccerplex. This opportunity for Michigan as Wivel gets on the end of this one from Sharifi. Sharifi has to move to the touchline. Line up a shot and it goes well high. One of the substitutes for Michigan is the first one to it, and he'll play it for Sutton himself. Sutton lines one up and sends it low for Filerman. Keeping it on the ground for Pusayan. Richard Forka. Switching the frame of attack for Burnett. A high header. Sharifi and gets it into the feet of a teammate. Pronica. Pass deflected away. Bowie. Olsen. This one took a tip. Sutton's got to come out and grab it. He does. Prevents the break-in header from Kotaro Umeda, as Maryland will reset their attack through their goalkeeper. Michigan's head coach, Enes Djokovic, shouting out instructions from his technical area as Sutton comes out to play it. Filerman, middle of the field, Gonzalez. Gonzalez, surrounded by three players, finds the release Filerman, who gets it well away from the defense with Burnett. Abdou Yam. Touchline for Wivel. Burnett interchanges with him, goes back to the middle for Yam. Yam chips it for Gonzalez, who finds Pusayan. Pusayan, his space closed off, finds Forka. Espinal. Middle of the field, can't connect with Yam. Leon Marich, haven't called his name a whole lot tonight. He hasn't had much with the way of possession. Kronika finds the team's leading scorer. Surrounded by three men, finds the pass through them. Umeda thought about winding up, that winds up this time, and he chunks it well wide to the right. Sutton gets on the end of the ball as Alex Cow comes out to the edge of his technical area and is shouting out instructions to his midfield and forward core. The first-year head coach has brought Maryland, to more wins than they had last season at 9-2-8. They finished last year with an 8-6-9 record, good enough for fifth place, but losing in the first round of the playoffs as Burnett skies this one as he tried to keep it in, and it bounces just in front of the stands here, in front of the Old Bay Brigade. Enes Djokovic has to be his own ball boy, and we'll leave it off for Ahmed Jr., Ahmed Shaibu. Wivel couldn't get ahead to it. Umeda. And Burnett pokes it long. Maryland is able to reset their defenses here, as Michigan's 6 substitutes that they've brought from Romeo High School are getting set in case they are called upon to go into the match tonight. Neither team made a substitute at the second half whistle, as it looks like Michigan is sending everybody into the box for a long throw in here. Kronika sends it in. Can't get to the 6-yard box with the header. Sutton comes up. He touched it. And it looks like a foul is going to be awarded against Michigan. So Maryland avoids conceding the corner kick, as it results in a restart for Sutton. Burnett now on the end of the ball for Gonzalez. The sound you may have heard in the press box was Idrissa Cisse delivering pizza to all of us, one of the Bobcats coaches and management officials. Chip pass, looking for Espinal. Espinal gets to it. Pass comes in. Caleb Pritchett onto his right leg, sends a shot on. Save made McCruva. Ball comes out, though. It'll be a corner kick. Caleb Pritchett once again picked out a great spot for the shot. It just, and I do mean just, got the gloves on it for Makruva. Wivel looks like he's the one on the end of it. Wivel now sends the arm up, sends the ball into the box. Makruva falls, going to get it, and it rules that he has been fouled in the process. Michigan will restart with the ball here in the 59th minute of action. Thigby, back for Hogman. Hogman looking middle of the field for Umeda, and a couple of players team up to take the ball away. Yam cannot send a pass in for Espinal. Second effort here as he's taken to ground, and a foul is awarded here. Maryland will have the ball. And potentially a call here for the trainers, as Abdul Yam is the one on the ground. He has not returned up just yet. I believe this is going to be a free kick for Maryland at the about maybe 25 yards from net. We do apologize about the wild movements of the camera. We are just getting set here with a different camera angle to try to give you more of the field, and I believe we've got it set now, just in time for the free kick. So don't worry, you didn't miss anything while we were adjusting that. Part of the reason we took the time to adjust it was because there was not a whole lot going on. We've got it set now. 60th minute of action. Espinal stands over and sends it high. Goal kick here coming up for the Zimbabwean keeper Mikruva, number 16 and the team captain. He puts it in right at the byline and just kicks it in for Thigby, who will send it deep. Marich gets ahead to it. Bowie finding Shalbad. Andres back into the middle of the field, and Wivel nicely done to take that ball and back in toward the midfield third. Pass goes awry. Yam now connects with Espinal. Three abreast on the attack. Espinal using his speed to create. Espinal slides it for Abdul Yam, who sends a shot well high. That's been a common theme tonight for Maryland. They have chunked a couple of high chances at net. Couple of subs on the Michigan bench off camera are looking like they're getting ready to enter the match at any moment now, as Makruva gets play restarted again through Ahmed Shaibu. Umeda, and a foul here behind the play on Gonzalez, and it looks like a card's going to be given. Yes, it will. Umeda's the one down. Manuel Gonzalez the one on the tackle. As Pusayan, he's got to be careful dissenting. He is on a yellow card. Manuel Gonzalez now finds himself on his first of the night. That's now 3 yellow cards for Maryland tonight on 3 aggressive tackles. As Jocelyn Pusayan, I know he's the team captain and has the ability to speak with the referee, but he does have to be careful. We've already seen one player earlier in this month sent off on a dissent yellow card, and that was one of the team's leading scorers for Flower City Union, Ali Diakate. Granted, different officials called games differently, and I still don't know what precisely was said to warrant the second yellow card that sent him off, but it was warranted enough. Thigby. Michigan resets here in the midfield. Pass going long here. Forka giving it a run, as is Shalbad. Shalbad cutting in. Pusayan can't get to the pass. Gonzalez able to break it up. Michigan resets their numbers. Cross comes in. Forka's header goes out. Marich winds and fires, and it's blocked by his own teammate. Shot comes across the face of goal. Michigan misses a chance twice, one of which came on a block from a teammate. And Alex Sutton is hopping mad about something here as Samuel Reynolds is having a little trouble now through this contest. Based on the players who have their practice pennies off at the bench, I believe Nicholas Nicola and Dean Dominique are going to be the ones that come in next for Michigan at the next available moment when they have a chance. But for now, Sutton has the goal kick. Gonzalez, Wivel, Figby. The game of keep it up, of Duyam let it fall. Kicked well long, and Djokovic will two-touch it in for Burnett. Gonzalez, Burnett. Burnett fakes to going back. Going ahead now, Ahmed Shaibu sends it forward. Bounces off of Pusayan's left leg, able to get control. Forka. Filerman. Espinal spins it free. Filerman getting on the end of it, though. Filerman's got it into the box, and Pritchett was not the first one to it. Taken away. Espinal cuts inside, gets some contact. No foul coming. We will continue to play. Indeed, two subs look like they're getting set to come in for Michigan. Not quite sure for who. I would imagine with Nicola being a forward, he might be coming on for Marich or one of the midfielders as they push for another goal to take the victory. And Dean Dominique, a midfielder. Pranica, and the play is offside. Maryland trying to reset quickly. Pranica not going to let them do that. As now substitutes are going to be allowed. As Nicola and Dominique are going to come in. So I'm trying to get a read on who is coming off. Nicola is coming off for, I believe that was Thomas Pranica. I'm taking off a midfielder. And Barry Sharifi is going to come off for Dean Dominique. So Pranica off, Nicola on, Sharifi off, Dominique on, in case you're keeping score at home. Sutton keeps it low for Forka. Filerman. Fake like he was going back, now goes forward with it. Filerman some hand fighting, and a foul is going to be awarded in favor of the Bobcats. Although they have to bring the ball back to where the foul was committed, they do. Gonzalez turns it for Pritchett. Finding Burnett. Gonzalez slides it in. Filerman connects with Pritchett, who is tackled to the ground, and a deep in the offensive third free kick is coming. Michigan not happy about this award of a free kick inside of the handlebars of the box. It's real close to a penalty, but it's not quite in the box. Apologies for the American football reference, but it's almost like a receiver ran a great route, but at 8 yards instead of 10, unable to get to the first down marker. Here, Pritchett had a great path to the ball, but was just that little bit off from getting it into the box for a potential penalty kick. Instead, it'll just be a deep free kick as Richard Forka is going to borrow some water from Tatenda Makruva's bottle. All right, I'm not exactly used to opposing players doing that, but okay. It is a six-person wall for Michigan as Yam and Espinal stand on the end of it for Maryland. There's one separated from the wall just a little bit, so it's a maybe 6.5 wall. Yam cuts in. Yam goes in right into the wall. Couldn't get it onto an arm. Filerman sends it low. Banks off of now Nicola. Nicola right into the feet of Richard Forka, who sends it up. Maryland resetting their midfield. Nicola's header falls to the feet of Yam. Now Wivel, sending the youngster in on the attack. Abdu Yam cuts to the middle, can't get quite into the box. Taken to the touchline. Keeping it in play for Burnett. Gonzalez spins it for Pritchett. First touch goes a little bit long. Figby back for Makruva. Pritchett using that great closing speed to give Makruva a challenge, but the keeper gets the ball away. Burnett, and he will run this one out to touch. Nicola could not get in ahead of him. 69th minute of action here in this second half. A scoreless contest, Maryland and Michigan battling it out here, looking to separate themselves in that log jam for second. Ahmed Shaibu, high ball, couldn't get a hold of it one. Pritchett, he's bodied off the ball hard, and Prosper Figby, he's going into the book now. That is the first yellow card on anybody for Michigan tonight, and it was a hard challenge hip check into Caleb Pritchett. I know hockey season's coming up soon, but yeah, you can't do that in this sport. So now Espinal stands over it. Espinal with 10 goals on the season to match his total from last year. As it looks like it's just Nicholas Nicola in front of him. Everybody at the 18-yard for Maryland and Michigan. Makruva shouting out instructions. Reynolds puts a whistle up. Left hand goes up. Ball toward the back post. And Makruva missed the connection, but Michigan got the ball away. So now Figby, Forka, Pusayan, and Gonzalez are on yellow cards. The first for Michigan, the last three for Maryland. Nicola sends a pass through. Filerman the one back for it. Filerman turns it to touchline. His pass goes awry. Michigan cannot get this one through past the 18, but looks like a yellow card is going to be awarded here to somebody. And it looks like a player from Michigan is going to be the one getting it. Yes, it will. That is number 27, Anthony Bowie, for the Stars. So after a relatively clean contest for the Stars in the first 68 minutes of action, 2 yellow cards in 2 minutes. Alex Sutton will be the one standing over the foul restart. He will send it along the grass for Manuel Gonzalez. Manuel Gonzalez has with 2 goals on this young season, including a screamer against Chattanooga FC. Nicola. Marich. Umeda. Cannot find a friendly foot. Now Wivel. Abdu Yam. Burnett. Gonzalez. Chip pass for Yam. Back for Wivel at the touchline. Burnett. Keeping it near side, moving into the middle of the field for Pusayan. Josilan will find James Filerman. Filerman cuts into the teeth of the defense and finds Gonzalez. Yam spins it to the middle. Filerman waiting for options and sends it to space for Burnett to run for it. Wivel finds Burnett again. Wivel cutting free. He's got room to get to the ball. Wivel cuts it in front. Makruva punches it out of the air. He takes some contact in the box. And he'll come up for it, as the ball will have to go back to where contact was. Hit right into the rib cage for the goalkeeper, as he has had to be a brick wall back there for Michigan, and he has done his job. Under 20 minutes to play in regular time. With 3 yellow cards in this half, I'm not exactly sure how much stoppage time is going to be added. Forka intercepted the pass from Marich, and this one runs a little long. Last ruled off of Marich, though, so it'll be a goal kick for Sutton. Sutton has a couple of short options if he wants one. Instead, he'll back up, and he'll send his center backs forward. Into the offensive third, the ball ends up rolling. Some hand fighting here as Espinal is going to get called for that one, dragging an arm back. Yeah, you can't do that. Both of these teams coming in on 2-match winning streaks. Michigan defeating Flower City Union and Gold Star. Gold Star being the one on the road. Maryland was unable to play their most recently scheduled contest in Savannah, so they are coming in on a 3-match winning streak if you count all competitions. Philip Brown is having some equipment issues at the back line, and he's going to be asked to exit play in order to deal with them. Looks like something's wrong with his cleats. A new pair of cleats is coming in quickly from the bench, as the old pair is going to get tossed aside. Brown's being asked to come off of the field to put them on. So Maryland temporarily down to 10 as Philip Brown deals with an equipment issue. Always important as a safety moment to have your cleats done properly, and not exactly sure what happened to Brown's cleats, but thank goodness the Bobcats bench had a substitute pair ready. Ball is going to be dropped for Makruva, who had possession at the last get. Brown has his right shoe on, now getting his left going as Maryland is down to 10 for the moment. Fileman cannot get on the end of the ball. Michigan's here in the offensive third. Sends a chip shot in. Marich's header goes awry. Sutton was on the end of it, and Brown has returned to play. Long ball here looking for Espinal. The header doesn't exactly go according to plan as Makruva sends this one to touch. It'll be a throw in for Michigan as it was last off of Espinal. 76 minutes of action have been played so far from the Soccerplex. Hogman finding Figby on a yellow card today. Pass intercepted right to Wivel's boots. Looking for Espinal. Pass was out behind him. Espinal for Yam. Yam, Espinal. Espinal cuts it right in between two Michigan defenders. Filerman sends a shot on. Caleb Pritchett winds and fires it just wide. Caleb Pritchett was offside anyway. It wouldn't have counted. But man, once again, Pritchett just can't find the back of the net. Again, you get the feeling that once Pritchett gets one, the goals are going to start coming in bunches for him. But he's just got to get his first. Andrew Barrowman is going to be the one to come in next for Michigan if the substitutions side is to be believed. Figby for Ahmed Shaibu, as it looks like Maryland might be making their first sub. Malik Tom is going to be the one running into the fourth officials area. Espinal back for Filerman. Gonzalez. Couldn't find an option to go forward through the middle. Going now through the side. Wivel. Back for Gonzalez. For Prusayan. For Forka. Captain to vice captain goes the pass. Back for team captain Prusayan. Burnett chests it down for Gonzalez. Pass for Wivel, poked away Ahmed Shaibu. Marich, one touch for Nicola. Nicola for Ahmed Shaibu. Finds Umeda. Hogbin. Back out for Shalbad. Shalbad running into the middle of the field, a little bit out of his normal position. Finding Umeda for Figby, and back to Ahmed Shaibu. Umeda. Gonzalez asking for help to keep to his left. Hogbin, as Maryland has clogged up the midfield here, Michigan not able to pierce just yet. Pass nearly went into the feet of Abduyam. Ahmed Shaibu again. Nicola. Chipped along, looking for a pass to Olsen. Brown's got it. A little bit of confusion from Olsen as to who had it. Gonzalez slides an outer foot touch for Fusayan. Filerman. Hunting over his options, thinks Yam behind him is the best one. Gonzalez. Entering now the 80th minute of action. Two subs look like they're coming in now for Maryland. Wilmer Escobar. No, Pierre Richard, number 16, not 93. Richard looks like he's going to be the one coming in for Maryland at the next available moment, but right now it is a break here for Michigan. It's 2-on-5 through the break. Back to Umeda go the Stars. Dominique, and a foul is awarded here. Maryland concedes a free kick at the edge of their offensive third. Looks like Michigan is going to wait to bring Barrowman on. As Richard and Tom have to wait their turn as well. Three-person wall for Maryland. Two men stand over the ball. It is Dominique, 76, and Umeda, number 8. Michigan can ill afford to waste this chance as we enter the final 10 minutes of regular time, and I'm not sure what Samuel Reynolds is waiting for here. Richard Forka's got to be careful here. And oh boy, this is not looking great. Richard Forko's already on a yellow card today. He can ill afford to get one here waiting for a free kick. Umeda waits. Dominique sends it in right into Sutton's chest. Shot on goal, but not a dangerous one. Filerman, and a nice slide keeps the ball moving in, and Filerman looks like he's going to be booked now. I believe that foul was called by the assistant referee at the line, and Samuel Reynolds is going to come in and looks like he will indeed show yellow to James Filerman. That is now the 4th yellow card of the match on a Maryland Bobcats player. Forka, Filerman, Gonzalez, and Pusayan, 4 important players to this team. As we do enter the final 10 minutes, so the game is close to over, but you can ill afford. I'm not sure what the substitutes exactly are waiting on here, but it is a free kick for Michigan at the spot of the foul. Somebody has to take this, and eventually somebody steps up to duty. That somebody is Kotaro Umeda. And Umeda has been relieved of duties because somebody else will now take it. Dean Dominique. Richard Forko's getting a talking to from Samuel Reynolds. I got a bad feeling if Forka commits another foul, he's going to be sent off here. No matter how much it might be deserved, says, I'm not sure how much more Samuel Reynolds wants to deal with this. There's been a long wait here for these few free kicks. Dominique sends a high one into the area. Sutton, strong wrists, keeps the grab as Prosper Figby now hustling back to his defensive position. Maryland's going to keep it moving. Filerman on a yellow card. Pass in for Caleb Pritchett. That's Espinal. 11, not 77, my bad. Dominique cannot get around Filerman. Well defended. Philip Brown sends it forward. Espinal sliding in onto the front foot for Yam. Into the feet of Espinal. Espinal chunks it to the middle of the field and it's intercepted. Dominique back again as the Stars and the Bobcats continue to play to a scoreless draw. You get the feeling that the first goal, however it might be scored, will be the one to win this contest, if there is a winner. Ahmed Shaibu sends this one backward. Umeda back for Figby. The only one of two Stars players on a yellow card. And offside here. A dangerous effort for Michigan is for nothing. Anis Djokovic can't believe it, but there are substitutes finally coming in for Maryland, as it looks like Caleb Pritchett is going to be relieved of duty in the forward core, and as will Manuel Gonzalez in the midfield, in favor of Malik Tom taking Pritchett off, and Pierre Richard taking Gonzalez off. Natural substitutions for both. Tom, a natural striker, will take Pritchett off, and Gonzalez, a natural midfielder, comes off in favor of Richard. Sutton sends a low kick right into the chest of Katara Umeda, and Pusayan sent a deep ball trying to catch Makruva off guard, and that one went too long. So Gonzalez's yellow card is not going to be upgraded tonight, unless he gets one from the bench, which, bless you to our producer Hannah, who is sitting right next to me tonight. As we shout out thanks to all the men and women in our technical crew for making this entertainment tonight possible. Pusayan with a nice takeaway. Sends a shot right into the back of the waiting defender. Filerman pokes it for Espinal. Espinal cutting to the middle of the field. Espinal waiting to get some space. He is denied that for Abdou Yam. Now that's Malik Tom. That's 7, not 18. Malik cuts into the middle. Richard sends it to the box, and it's taken away Michigan. Nicholas Nicola can't get around Philip Brown. Philip Brown delivering once again for Maryland. Filerman. Richard. Malik. Tom. Cuts into the middle of the field. Espinal, hand fighting for position, gets to the ball, slides, cannot connect with the ball. And the pass is into a couple of bodies. Andrew Berriman, who came on as well for Michigan in that exchange. Nice backheel touch for Wivel, finding Tom, who is taken down on the play. No foul. He is ordered to get up. Makruva for Figby. Past Berriman into the feet of Hunter Olsen. Berriman gets around the hand checks of Pierre Richard. Olsen switches the point of attack now. Into the field, and Forka's got it. Pusayan bounces right back into him off of the nice defense. Filerman moving up with it. 4, now 5 abreast through the attack as Wivel joins. Pass goes beyond Espinal, and Figby clears it away. Filerman has it. Final 3 minutes of regular time here from the Soccerplex. Curious to see how much time our fourth official, Stephen Vines, will add as we hit the 9 o'clock hour. Thank you again for making us part of your Saturday night entertainment here on FIFA Plus. My name is Max Walpoff, and you just watched Philip Brown send this one into Malik Tom. Tom gets one into the penalty area. Tom has it on his foot. Tom had it. Bigby took it away. Andrew Barrowman. Barrowman cannot get around Josiah and Pusayan. Barrowman took a man down and ruled to have done so against the rules. It's just a common foul. Curious to see how much stoppage time is going to be added here as we now enter the 89th minute of action. Darwin Espinal, always dangerous on free kicks, stands over the ball. Espinal has plenty of options at the top of the box. We go toward the middle of the posts, and it's taken from Michigan. Filerman gets himself onto his front foot. Switches fields. Duyam, it took a touch. Makruva comes out and makes a grab. Long pass here, Richard cannot get on the end of it one. Hunter Olsen. Olsen, he is taken down and ruled to get up. Last touch was off of Maryland. It's going to be a corner kick. Samuel Reynolds is calling this one a corner here for Michigan. As we enter the final minute of regular time, do the Stars have a little bit of magic here? They'll take the corner quickly. Barrowman. Barrowman cutting in. Barrowman can't get around some defenders. Now Olsen sends a cross right into the body of Malik Tom. Well blocked by the young forward. Barrowman gets it onto his front foot. Umeda. Husayan. Chipped in, far post, nobody there. Filerman sending it long. Makruva there to take it. Final 10 seconds of regular time. How much will be added? Does Maryland need it here? Long pass coming in over the bar. Makruva was way out of position, and Espinal tried to fool him. Three minutes of stoppage time have been added. We'll see who can find a winner here at 9:03 p.m. on the East Coast. Barrowman gets around Richard, cutting into the inside the penalty area, cuts outside of it. Ahmed Shaibu. Michael Akinkoye looks like he might be coming on as a late sub here. Figby. Michigan content to play keep away. If the teams share the points, no standings movement tonight. Maryland will stay in their position at currently in fourth, which means they would host a first round playoff game. Michigan content to try to play in here as they would sit in fifth if the score holds. Umeda wind and fire, and Sutton lets it roll for a goal kick. Substitute coming on, Akinkoye will get a chance to join the play. And it looks like Andrew Wivel is going to be the one coming off. And potentially Gavin Shields will be trying to come on quickly. The Irishman doesn't even have his jersey on or shin guards, so he's going to have to wait. No, that's Sam Solomon, Massachusetts native out of Amherst. Header from Figby, rolled by Pusayan toward Espinal. Solomon's going to have to wait his turn. He may not get one. Pass cuts in, and player is taken down. It looks like a foul is awarded to Maryland right at the edge of the penalty area. Right at the edge of the penalty area as we enter the final minute of stoppage time. This may be the last gasp winner here for Maryland. High drama here at Maureen Hendricks Field. Maryland with a chance at the last moment for a free kick on net from just outside of the penalty area. Four-person wall for Michigan with one set off to the side. Abdou-Yam, who's been out there for the entirety of tonight's game, standing over it, along with Darwin Espinal, the team's leading goal scorer. Michigan may not be able to come away with a win, but they can at least keep the point if they keep the ball out of the net. Espinal is going to be the one to take it. Gets on, shot high and wide. Over the bar, Espinal missed his chance. Sam Solomon is going to be asked to come on, as he will get a minute of playing time here. Not sure. And Makruva has started play, and he can't really do that with a player set to come off. And I believe Abdou-Yam is going to be the one to sub off. Yes, he will. Abdou-Yam coming off. Sam Solomon coming on for an appearance here in this game. Not sure how much time is really going to be left in this game. There's the full-time whistle. A scoreless draw for Maryland and Michigan. That leaves the season series at 1 win apiece and 1 draw. The final match between these sides comes next Saturday at Romeo High School. So no change in the standings. Maryland will stay in 4th with 30 points. Actually, my apologies. With Albion San Diego not playing tonight, Maryland goes to 3rd on goal differential because they're now tied in points. Albion goes from 3rd to 5th as a result of tonight's game. That's a bit brutal, but they didn't play, so there is that. So Maryland now still shaky positioning here as they enter the final few games of action, but this draw against Michigan closes out their home halves against the team. We'll be here for the final 2 matches at Maureen Hendricks Field, October 4th against Albion San Diego and October 14th against Gold Star FC to finish the season. Not quite sure how things are going to shake out with postponed games, but Maryland and Michigan fought to a scoreless draw tonight. We thank you again for joining us here as part of your Saturday night entertainment. My name is Max Walpoff, and on behalf of all of us here at Maryland Bobcats FC, thank you for joining us. Good night, and have a pleasant tomorrow.